So in today's notes, we are going to be writing the equations of lines when given a point and the slope for the line. But before we do that, they have a few warm-up questions for us here that they want us to answer using the graph provided over here to the right. So the first question is, what is the constant rate of change? Rate of change means the same thing as slope. So when it asks for the rate of change, it wants to know what the slope is. Remember, your slope is just how much up and over you have to go to get from one point to the next. So, for example, starting with this point here, I have to go up 1, 2, 3, and over 1. Also, if my line is slanted this direction, I know it must be negative. Therefore, my slope or my rate of change, this would simplify to just negative 3. It then asks, what are the coordinates of the y-intercept? So this is my y-axis. So it's asking where it intersects that axis. That would be at this coordinate point right here, which is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So as a coordinate point, we didn't go left or right any. So it's at 0, 9. It then asks what the coordinates of the x-intercept are. So x-intercept is where it crosses the x-axis. So right here at this point, which is at 3. So that would be the coordinate point 3, 0. And then ask for the equation of the line in slope-intercept form. Remember that it's y equals mx plus b form. So y equals, we know that our slope is negative 3, and we have x plus b. b is my y-intercept, which we said is at 9. So here is the equation of the line. Alright, so then it just wants to remind us that slope-intercept form of a line looks just like this. Y equals mx plus b. So for every equation, we will need our final answer to be in that form. So on each of these, they are giving us a coordinate point and a slope. So number 5 says the slope is 2. Remember, our slope is m in the equation, and has a y-intercept of 15. Well, a y-intercept is b. So I would just need to plug this into my equation, y equals mx plus b. I would have y equals, I can replace m with 2, x, and then my b is positive 15. So there's my equation. Okay, number 6, I have my slope, which is m. And then I have the coordinate point here, negative 4, negative 7. So remember, this is x and this is y. So I know I need it to be in this form, y equals mx plus b. And they did give me something to plug in for y. They gave me something to plug in for m. They gave me something to plug in for x. So the only thing that I am missing is b. So I'm going to substitute in everything they gave me. So in place of y, I can plug in negative 7. In place of m, I can plug in 5/4. In place of x, I can plug in negative 4. And then I don't know b, so I have to leave it as a variable. Alright, so I will have negative 7 is equal to, I would need to multiply 5/4 times negative 4. So 5/4 times negative 4 is going to give me negative 5. So I'll have negative 5 plus b. So to get b by itself, I would then have to add 5. Negative 7 plus 5 is negative 2. So I have that b equals negative 2. Now that I have b, I can write this in y equals mx plus b form. I would have y equals m is my slope, 5/4, x, and my b is negative 2. Same idea for number 7. It says we have a slope of negative 3, and then they tell us we have an x-intercept of 2. So x-intercept means it is on the x-axis, right? So it is at the coordinate point 2, 0. So this is my x, this is my y, and this is my m. So again, in that y equals mx plus b, I'm only missing b. I have something to plug in for everything else. So in place of y, I have 0. In place of m, I have negative 3. In place of x, I have 2. And then I have plus b. All right, so I have negative 3 times 2, which is negative 6, plus b. I then add 6 to both sides, and I end up with b equals 6. Therefore, my equation would be y equals my slope of negative 3, x plus 6 for my b. All right. Number 8, we have a slope of 0, and it passes through this coordinate point x, y. So I would then have to plug everything in. So I have, in place of y, negative 5. And then in place of m, 0. In place of x, negative 3 plus b. All right, so I have negative 5 equals 0 plus b, so really, negative 5 equals b. All right, so then I need to write the equation. Y equals, in place of my slope, I have 0, x, and then my b is negative 5. Well, 0 times anything, including a variable, is just 0, so this goes away, and I'm left with y equals negative 5. So if I was to graph this, this would be my horizontal line. We have a slope of 0. All right, number 9. Here is my m. They said it's a slope of negative 1/4. And then I have an x-intercept of negative 8. So that would be the coordinate point, negative 8, 0. This is x, this is y. And then I just substitute in what they gave me into y equals mx plus b. So y, I have 0. M, I have negative 1/4. And for x, I have negative 8. And we still have that plus b. So I have negative 1/4 times negative 8, which is just going to give me positive 2. To get b by itself, I would subtract 2, and I end up with negative 2 equals b. So now I can write my equation. I would have y equals negative 1/4 x minus 2. All right, if I have an undefined slope, this should tell me that I have an x equals equation. Because remember from yesterday's notes, if my slope is undefined, I have x equals some number. So my number that x equals apparently is the value of 6. So here's my equation. Okay, number 11 says write and graph the equation of the line with the same slope as the linear parent function. So the parent function is the one with no changes made to it. So that would be y equals x. It doesn't have a slope that's larger or smaller than 1. And it also has not been shifted up or down, so there is no plus b on the end. So we are writing the equation of a line that has the same slope as what we have here. Slope is the number in front, so it must be 1. So I have that m is 1, and it goes through the coordinate point negative 3, negative 9. So if my slope is 1, I would need to take this to plug into my problem. So in place of y, I would have -9 equals 1 times -3 plus b. So I would have -9 equals 1 times -3, which is -3 plus b. And then to get b by itself, I would add 3. So I end up with -6 equals b. So my equation would be y equals, my slope is 1, so 1x or just x, and then my b is -6. Alright, so now that we have found the equation, we now have to graph it. So it starts at -6, and it has a slope of +1. So we're going up 1 over 1 in the positive direction. Okay. It then says, what is the x-intercept of this graph? So that would be this coordinate point right here, which is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a value of 6. So the coordinate point, 6, 0. It then asks what the y-intercept is. That's down here. So I didn't go left or right any, just down 6. So the coordinate point, 0, 6. So after you finish this video, you need to do the assignment that is stapled to this page that I handed you in class yesterday. If you lost your paper, you can do this on notebook paper or print another copy from Schoology. Make sure you get this posted in today's folder, and then do Thursday and Friday's assignments and post them there.